Okay, influences on delivery. Our textbook gets into different influences on delivery, such as culture. So I believe your book mentions Thailand, where in Thai culture it's rude to talk about yourself, to boast about yourself, and to draw attention to yourself. And that's going to have an impact on public speaking norms, right? Something like ethos or credibility, which I want you to lay out in your first speech, is kind of talking about yourself, talking about your credentials and why you're competent and confident in talking about a particular topic, right? And so if that's culturally not a norm, it's going to influence delivery, right? And so, yeah, what is a good speaker? What is a polite speaker? What, how far away do you stand from your audience? What is, how to use your voice, right? All those things are cultural expectations, right? And they're going to influence what's considered good delivery depending on where you are, right? In the world or what culture you're in. Gender has a big impact on delivery. There's a lot in our chapter about how we often judge female speakers more harshly, right? Because we are a sexist culture, right? Particularly in terms of their voices, right? I'll actually give you a clip talking about Hillary Clinton's voice and how the ways that people just couldn't stand Hillary Clinton's voice, right? But it's not as if other politicians have amazing voices, right? And so just the way that we judge female speakers more harshly, also we don't judge them as competently, right? Or that they're experts, right? And that's all a part of our sort of societal expectations and the sexism that kind of undergirds a lot of our expectations, right? And so being aware of that. Also, fluency. So this could be, the ways that we might stutter or fill in with what are called audible pauses or oral disfluencies. So we might say so or what, right? These kinds of disfluencies or fillers, vocal fillers, vocalized pauses. There it is. Vocalized pauses is what your book talks about. And avoiding these vocalized pauses like like, so, and yeah, right, or and those can all impact our fluency with a topic. And definitely we can all work on it, right? So, the ways that we all might naturally stutter. It seems like is become more acceptable, which is pretty interesting how many speakers actually say the word like and use like a lot. For our speeches, I would appreciate if we did not use like as that often, right? Unless it has a purpose, right? And then dialect, which is just a different way of communicating the same language. Often there's a distinct vocabulary or accent that goes along with different types of the same language, right? And this can have an impact on delivery. Oftentimes in professional settings, you will be judged based on your ability to communicate standard American English, for better or worse. And so your ability to kind of like navigate that and be able to speak standard American English dialect will open the most doors for you. So being aware of that and taking that into consideration. Then also physical impairments, right? So, considering an audience's or a speaker's physical impairments, right? So in terms of audio visual aids, if you need them, and providing them for your audience, having a translator, a sign language interpreter, has become more and more important and accommodating for various audiences or for speakers themselves who might need that. And so these are all influences on delivery. Yeah, so being more aware of even how the physical environment can impede uh, your message, right? And how you can use audio visual aids to get your message out there. So these are all influences on culture. Yeah, and we'll definitely be talking specifically on how gender impacts delivery this week in our discussion board.